Hi, Virgo. Happiest now. Happiest now whenever you arrive. Right? Be merry and bright in this time, Virgo. So, I feel as if you have a plan. That's a good thing. This has a lot to do with also like something about the value of community or the values in your community. Just a second. Oh, I feel as if you connect with your ancestors, that's also something that you can in this time be like more physically active with. I guess this is specific to anybody who's sort of like, I heard the word mediumship, um, but it's not like without intention though, and I feel like it has to be something that's like personal to you versus like for somebody else. But you really have to, the messages come sideways even if you do connect to some space. So do not be, I see, dismayed if for some reason it doesn't exactly make sense. If you have any questions, please watch Cancer's reading. You're actually recorded on the same evening. Let's see where you've been. Ooh, nine of emotions or nine of cups. Look at this card if you can see. This person levitating in the air with all these crystals floating around them, connected to some invisible space, reflecting back into this person. Wow. Cool. Well, apparently coming from a really good place. Good for you. Did you have a nice October? Did you learn? I feel like you learned something faithfully or emotionally. You learned something in October, right? That's and now you're wherever you are now. How you can relate to that is something of positivity. That's important. See where you are. The Ace of Swords. Yes, you're quite aware of the past. Nine months ago. This is September, so that would be February. February, Aquarius. I also see if you have any questions, if you know what your ninth house is ruled by, the sign, that would be a very good reading for you to tap into to find more of, I heard your levitating space or how to find more faith. And if you only, I feel the need to specify this, if you only know, say, you're at Sun, Moon, Ascendant, whatever your Ascendant is, just it's 9 signs from there. That one's important. Huh. Yeah, you have a plan. Okay. Let's see what you're doing subconsciously. Also very well aware of the past. Good. But the thing is like you're just turning around to look at it. But what you're actually turning, okay. You know when you look back to the past and it hurts? But this is looking back on the past and seeing the endurance through it, seeing your centeredness, seeing your patience, even seeing your wisdom, even when you thought, for instance, you were making like, well, hold on a second, I want to rewind. You're looking to the past with great positivity. It's sort of like putting the past in check. Do you know what I mean? But not, you're not playing against it. It's not a finite game. Do you remember that reading? It's not a finite game. It's an infinite game that you're now playing with the past, right? Or with, because this is just a part of it. But it's really clear to you now. Let's see consciously. The Sun and the Three of Pentacles. Awesome. Wow. Just a second. Well, this has something to do with the Trinity, right? I feel like somebody else talked about that. The mind, the body, and the spirit. Etc. Well, consciously, very positive. You could smile a little. Do you remember when I told you for almost a year straight, I was like, Virgo, you could smile more. You could smile more, Virgo. You can smile more. Do you like your smile? You have a great smile. Did you know that? You probably have a really good laugh too. Especially when it's like a belly laugh. You know, it really gets deep in there. It's like down in your guts. Like your guts. You know when you laugh so hard, your guts hurt? Like you can't do anything but sort of buckle in on yourself. So you sort of have to like hug yourself because it's so awesome. When's the last time that happened? What's your next step? Okay, that has to do with what you're learning now, or what you've been learning. Six of discs. Awesome. What are you learning? The Empress. Wow. Hold on a second. You know when things just really vibe together? Do you know what I mean? Like where you're like, oh, because for like, well, let me try to keep in the groove. You know when things really just go together in that moment. Do you know what I mean? And it's just so amazing and miraculous and magical that you're like, oh my God, how could this even be? It's almost unexplainable. Right? And I guess a part of this comes through being patient. If you have been being patient, if you have been, for instance, being even selective a little bit, and didn't we talk about morals or moral value? Did we talk about that? Maybe that was Cancer. I guess it has to do with you too. What are your morals? What are your values? Now, it's not to judge anyone who has any differing of that, but whatever yours are, when you know that, that's all you're really going to attract, right? And if anything else is around you magnetized in your vicinity, you're going to be able to feel the difference to what's in tune or not, right? Or like what goes together. Now, again, I need to emphasize not everything always goes together, but sometimes it really does, and you can always feel when it does. Do you know what I mean? You, I heard independent of your family, so significant. Kind of like what does Jung call it? Individuation. Right? You cut the cord from your mother. You don't take daddy's money. You don't whatever. You don't rely on a family member to provide for your own happiness even. You can find that in yourself. Remember, you're allowed to be a very independent individual person and have intimate relationships with people. And I actually feel like that's part of what you're coming into, is knowing a deeper intimacy in yourself. And it's not like a I love me kind of thing where it's selfish. It's a I love me. You know, it's different. I love me versus I love me, right? I love me. It all goes down and like in and it's hard. It's like, no, I love me. There's a little boop at the end, right? Which just goes up to God and then back to you and all around you. Interesting. What are you afraid of right now? Oh, being bored. Like when it's steady, right? And when, okay. I want to make sure I say this right. Just a second. Well, you're very peculiar, and did we mention particular? Your peculiarities and your particularities, yes, they are very much your own. And own them, right? You may have possession over them if you like. Yes, 6 of Wands. You can do that. Of course, not too much ego, right? Like, oh, I know this, and it's not too heady. It's just it's a knowing, meaning, like the knowing moves into a feeling, right? And we need that. That's Aquarius, quincunx, Cancer. It's like where a knowing becomes a feeling. Yes, Page of Pentacles. That's, I guess, a part of also what you are learning about. And I see that you are really wanting to learn also. This is very good. Wanting to see, right? Wanting to understand what's going on and also being able to trust. There's something here about trust, right? Honesty and trust. Maybe even for some of you to, I don't know, not only be of service, for instance, in a physical way for people, or even emotionally for people, but to also give that, I heard, to and of yourself. And then not only do that for your job, but what about in your intimate relationships? Right? I heard being raw in a really powerful way. Maybe that's part of the duality of you a little bit. Cancer definitely would be a wonderful message for you. I feel like you would enjoy it. I feel as if it would teach you greatly if you would like to go there. Yes. It will be very inspiring for you. Yes. I feel like it relates to your 6th house also, which is, well, your neighbor Libra and karma, right? In addition. What bores you out of curiosity? Like what's boring? Or what is when you tap into it and you picture yourself like participating with it, there's something where you're kind of like, meh. Like where you zoom, maybe you zoom really far in the future. And because you can see this ultimate end result, you don't do the thing. I feel like you need to backtrack a little bit because sometimes you have to ask that question when you're closer to something. Does this make sense? Let me grab another cigarette. I feel like it. I don't know if I'll smoke it, but I want to hold it. So, Virgo. I almost feel as if that's a really solid reading. You and Cancer's reading actually were very efficient. I appreciate that. Oh, let's talk about some practical things. Just a second. We do live on Earth, right? Part of Virgo is being practical, not just spiritual. We've talked about this before. Oh, interesting. Okay, I guess we'll... Oh, no, it's not these ones. Excuse me. It was odd the way that happened. That's all right. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Practical for Virgo. Oh, there's a card. 6 of Wands. We'll take that. So this is good work. Judgment. 2 of Cups. Just a minute. Funny when they do this. Chariot. We'll take that one. I don't want that one. I don't know what it was, but it didn't feel right. It's okay. I ain't worried about it. You gotta trust yourself. There we go. That one, and not these two. Okay. So what do you have here? 6 of Wands, Judgment, 2 of Cups, Chariot, and the Ace of Pentacles. Absolutely stunning. Well, it seems to be that if you see what your tasks are daily and you are confident in them and you realize that, for instance, you were given this task for a great reason, whatever that task may be. I feel like if you want to know more about that, that has something to do with Aries. I feel like there's some really positive connections. Definitely growing. I see growing and going towards some really great heights of something. I see again, you were given your talents and that which you do daily for a reason. Do them with great appreciation, whatever they may be. I know sometimes that's hard. It depends what we're talking about, right? But I know you can do it, whatever it is. I also feel as if there's something about when you were a child, there was something you would do when you were a child. I actually see 2 kids playing together. Where they're like making up, they're like making a way to have fun out of what they have in front of them. You know what I mean? They don't need They don't need something special to do it. It's just like whatever it is. They're contented in that, you know. I feel like every town has a main street also. Do you have any memories to a main street? Something like that. This is usually the main drag, but I guess if we're talking about work and we're talking about a main drag, this also means that there's a lot of businesses there, right? There's a lot of energy on a main street, right? A lot of people going in and out. So in ways of practicality, and I guess work, this could mean that it could be busy. What hours are you working right now? Like, when do you go to work? When do you begin your day? When do you end your day, etc.? I see. Are you taking any time to sit underneath any trees or watch the birds? I do feel like financially is a good space right now too. But just because you're in a good space, don't be I see not to be too, like, maybe frivolous. Because you may need something in the future. Like like a newer big thing, maybe. Like, for instance, a lot of people use regular, like, tools that would be considered regular, right? Maybe you'll need something new. Or maybe like a new way to expand something. And make sure things are organized also. Right? Like everything matches up. I feel like that's a good ending. Because if we go any deeper, we'll go too much into some old stuff, and you already have a clear perception of what it is. So no need to dig in there too much right now. And again, I see Cancer will have a great message for you if you so do desire to hear the song of the conch shell. Yep. Thank you so much for existing, Virgo. Thank you for the inspiration. Thank you for your hard readings. Thank you for your soft readings. Thank you for your spiritual readings. In a collective sense, I find all the energy inspiring, but I do connect to Virgo pretty strongly, and I appreciate your toughness. I also appreciate your vast capacity to be open and soft. And your loyalty. You know, you are a very devout sign. You know, you're as dedicated as the oak is to wherever it lives. You know, thank you for that. All the hard work you've done and how loving you are. It's always a pleasure. If I post this before Halloween, happy spooky season. That's actually why I have a little red here. Although I've always liked a little red makeup for some reason. Is it Japanese? It's part of their, I like it. Anyway, I love you so much. Happiest now. You're a sextile to this time anyway, so it's not a big deal. I always connect Virgo to Scorpio anyway, so. I love you so much. I'll talk to you later. Peace out.